Welcome back to my channel. It's MZ here. In this video I'm going to be talking about June decks, what pairings I used throughout June and how the month of June went for me. So yeah, let's just get started. First thing I want to talk about is the card I pulled at the beginning of the year. So this was my monthly card for June. This is the Ace of Swords. And I only look at these as the month starts. So, like, a lot of people have been putting them in envelope, opening them on the month, but I knew about them in advance, but I just didn't read too much into the yearly reading when I pulled it, so it was more focused on every month. So at the beginning of June, I put that this month will be focused on clarity, breakthroughs, mental focus, and truth. I might have a sudden realization or epiphany that could reshape my thinking, have some fresh mental energy that will support new ideas, might have honest conversations or uncovering hidden truths. And I also might cut through confusion and take decisive action. And I will think clearly, speak truthfully, and act decisively this month, letting go of outdated thoughts or habits. And I felt like this was quite true for the month of June. I felt like I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone more and sort of stopped having a lot of negative thinking impacting how I act in public, because I have a lot of anxiety anyway. I start being more less caring what other people think of me. I've been letting go of old beliefs that people are judging me and that sort of thing. Because I went away on holiday in June with my family, and they really don't care what other people think of them. It's hilarious. Like my dad and my sister, they just do what they want. They're authentically themselves. They don't care what people think. Like my sister's quite loud. She doesn't care. Like if she's loud, I'm the quiet sibling. I'm quite reserved, and I'm just like, oh, you've been a bit too loud. And she's like, I don't care. Like, but I love my sister for that, and my dad's the same. Like they just are themselves. And no, to be honest with you, no one cared. No one was looking at them. I was just being too self conscious about it. No one really cared. They was just being them, and I should just be more like me. So while I was on holiday, I kind of had that mindset a little bit more. I was wearing like some holiday outfits that I wouldn't normally wear when I was at home. Like I was being a bit more daring with colourful like outfits. I tend to wear black all the time, so I was kind of like pushing myself out my comfort zone there. So I felt like my thought pattern changed throughout June, and yeah, I just felt like I was being more decisive and being authentically me more, and just yeah, even in work, I've been a bit more um, outgoing with how I speak to employees. Like if I need help, I'll ask for help rather than just cope with it on my own, that sort of thing. Or if I need something done, or I'll go and ask someone if they're willing to help me do this rather than just like suffer in silence, sort of thing. So I'm being a bit more outspoken rather than just trying to deal with everything by myself. So yeah, I definitely feel like it was an Ace of Swords kind of month. So yeah, let me just start with the decks I used in June. In the first week of June, I used these two decks together. I paired Rock Art Tarot with Revolution Oracle. They both have a very similar art style theme. And also, like going back to the monthly card of the Ace of Swords, I think I chose quite a few mentally challenging decks this month. A lot of the decks I've used have renamed titles, so it made me think a bit more about my decks and how they're the meanings behind them and everything. So I felt like that was worth a mention. But look at the backs of these together. They both have like a green coloured effect. They're really cool looking. I really like them. I thought they backs paired really nicely together. But I absolutely adore these two decks. Took me a lot of figuring out on how to use these as the tarot deck, to be honest, because of everything has been renamed. So yeah, a lot of thinking involved with these. So let me quickly show you the Revolution Oracle book first. So that's quite a lot of information in here. Different spreads you can do and that sort of thing. Then it goes straight into the cards, and you get quite a lot of information. So you get an image of the card, the title, a little quote, and then talks about the meaning behind the card, and you get like 2 pages for each one, so you get a message at the end. And it is a really cool guide book. I really like it. I like how it's been sewn on the spine. I just thought it was really quite interesting. Really cool little guidebook. And the Rock Art Tarot, the guidebook for this one, you get a little white book within the deck itself, which has very minimal meanings. But to truly understand this deck, you need the guidebook that comes with it. This is the guidebook, because everything's renamed in this deck. So let me just get to that page. We've got a lot of information. It's talking about field studies here of like cave paintings and that sort of thing that was inspired by this deck. Well, it was really interesting. It's really cool how this was quite well researched when they looked at it. So it was really cool looking at these imagery. Really, really interesting. So it was worth getting the guidebook, just looking at these photos and where they was found, like this one, New Mexico, and how they got the imagery for the deck. And it talks about the tarot, and then it goes straight into the meanings. So you get symbol meanings, forewarning, divination, and obstacles for each card. It does that as well with a little bit less text for the minor as well. But everything's been renamed, so let me try and find that page. Here we go. Look, so here we have all the renamed majors, and the one that really kept confusing me was psychic was the high priestess and intuition was the empress, and I always associate intuition with the high priestess, so that caught me off guard a little bit when I was working with this. So you really got to, I kept referring back to this just to make sure I was looking at the right card because everything's just completely renamed. And in the minor as well, everything's been changed. So for the minor suit, all the suits have been changed. So you've got intellect for swords, intuition for wands, emotions is cups, and sensations is pentacles. So that was quite different, and it talks about that here, about different suits. And also they changed all the court cards. So you got mankind for king, womankind for queen, peacemaker is knight, and defender is page. And then it talks also about the numerology cards and what keywords they give for each suit. So like the 10 of intellect, which is swords, is doom. They got all those there. So I think having this book is much beneficial to really get a good understanding of this deck. So let me just flip through the cards now so you can see how well they pair together. I think it was really good. Really liked how this was. This also has tarot themes in it as well with some of the oracle cards. But there's quite different in media style. This just looks more like digital art, and this one's definitely hand drawn. You can see all the pen marks where it's been coloured in. But they've got the same sort of style of rock art, like the caveman sort of things you'd see. And it was just really cool. And they're both really bright and colourful. Really, really enjoyed working with these two together, even though it was a challenge with this deck, figuring out what card I was looking at sometimes. But yeah, I got some really cool readings out of this. Really cool decks. This deck's out of print. I bought it on eBay. And this one I got off Etsy. I think pretty sure it's still available. But if you really like that sort of caveman sort of art, like looking at the beginnings of humankind and how they expressed artwork on the walls and everything, I find it so interesting. I just really love the style of it. It's really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed working with these. So many cool pairings you can do. And it looks so well. That's like the perfect pairing for these two, I'm pretty sure, in my eyes. I don't think I could find a better pairing than this. So cool. Really awesome. Really enjoyed working with this. So in the first week of June, I used the Rock Art Tarot with the Revolution Oracle. In the second week of June, I used these two decks together, the Tarot Girl and Malfoy with the Rainbow Warrior Activation deck. Both of these decks are huge, so I struggled with both of these to shuffle them. But I really love the artwork, stunning. They really are gigantic decks. Really liked how they look together though. That's what the backs look like together, these two decks. So let me go through the guidebook. So for the Activation Warrior deck, you just get a little brief introduction on how to read the cards, and then you go straight into it, have action, and then it gives you some keywords and talks about the meaning. And you get just a page for each of the cards, which is really cool. And then for the guidebook for the Tarot Girl Malfoy, you get quite a lot of information here. They've got spreads, and then you go straight into the meanings of the cards. You have upright description, which they put in bold the symbology they've used in each card. So you can be like, why did they put a hummingbird in the fall? And it will talk about why that was put in place there. So I really liked that about that. It's easy to find in bold what the imagery they use and why they used it. And then they also have a reversal meaning for the card too. And same amount for the minors as well. And the titles have been renamed in this as well. So you have Wild Wind for Swords, Wild Water for Cups, Wild Ember for Wands, and then Wild Earth for Pentacles. And all the titles for the majors have been renamed as well. So you've got the Alchemist for Magician, the Beloveds for Lovers, and that sort of thing. So I was really challenging myself this month with all these renamed cards. But let me just flip these decks over so you can have a look at how they look together. My only downfall with this Oracle deck in particular is that it's numbered on the card, but the keyword is in the book but not on the actual card itself. So when you look up 18, it says fire. But it would have been so much better if it had fire written on the deck itself. But you have to really rely on the guidebook or your memory of the card if you used it quite a lot to get the meaning, or you can use it intuitively if you wanted to. I just wish the title was actually on the card itself rather than just in the book. That was my only thing that I didn't like about the cards of this deck. But look how well these pair together. They're amazing. Both pretty much the same size. I think the Oracle's a little bit wider, but they're about the same height. But these look amazing together. So cool. I've had really cool readings with this. Really enjoyed working with them. Look how cool they are. So fun. I'll set a lot of these upside down. Yeah, I love the artwork on here. It's so abstract and cool. But I thought they really paired nicely together. But again, I had to work really hard with this. So like if I got this colour, I realised that that's the cup suit. And all like the page and quartz cards have all been changed as well. You've got Seeker, Guardian, Explorer. And all these have no titles on whatsoever. So yeah, I suppose it was a Ace of Swords month just because I was a lot of mental energy being used figuring out decks and everything. But I thought these pairs so cool together. They both got that abstract style. This one has a mixed media thing. This is more just looks like paintings. But so cool. Thought they paired really, really cool together. And the Oracle deck in this one has 52 cards, so there's a decent amount of cards in this Oracle deck. But look how cool they look together. It's like they're part of the same deck. So cool. Really like it. I just loved working with these. They're really hard to shuffle though, that's the only problem. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really fun. I just love these decks so much. But yeah, great readings. Just took me a while to figure out. Oh yeah, Sovereign was the other court card. And here, like, all the titles have changed. So balance, the shift. Wow, look at that one. Four of Pentacles. The awakening. So a lot of these are all the way around. But look how amazing this deck is. So awesome. Got the illusion, equilibrium, the beacon. Yeah, really fun deck. So in the second week of June, I used the Tarot Galamalfrey with the Rainbow Warrior activation deck. In the third week of June, I used these two decks together, the Sacred She Tarot with the Sacred Earth Oracle. They both have sacred in the deck name. They both have sort of similar sort of art sort of styles. So I thought they'd work quite nicely together. So let's just show you what they look like. So the backs of the tarot looks like. And this is what the oracle looks like. Again, I challenged myself again with another renamed tarot deck. So the Sacred She Tarot has all the cards renamed. And I really like the choices of what they chose. So here we've got it. Tells you what they are. So you've got the Spirit Suit, which is the major. Earth Suit, which is Pentacles. And the Fire and Air and Water Suit. I like the elemental nature of this one, how it was made up. And it's really cool. A lot of information in this guidebook. It talks about, so like each of the majors have been renamed. So you've got Alchemy for the Magician. And it tells you down here what it originally was and what they changed it to. So for RWS and for Thoth. They got change for the Wheel of Fortune. I quite agreed with a lot of the renamed titles. So like Three of Pentacles got Cooperation. And you get quite a lot of information. You got a picture of the card right up for each, and then has this little saying here. Really like the guidebook for this. And it's the same for minor and major. And it's got loads of like elemental spread you can do, Celtic cross, that sort of thing. And there's a lot of tells you what the quotes are from as well at the back, where they came from. So yeah, really cool guidebook for that one. And then guidebook for the Sacred Earth Oracle. Got how to use the deck and everything. Then it goes into card meanings and you just get a picture, the earthly meaning, spiritual meaning, and then an insight meaning for each card, which I quite like this guidebook. So let's show you what the cards look like together. They've both got like a circular theme, got the moon here, and then like a tree of life cycle imagery going on there. Oopsie. Let's zoom in a bit. And I thought these look quite good together. They got the moon as anxiety, really like that keyword. Got choices for similar cups and space. Yeah, I just thought these paired quite nicely together. Got deception, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, they're colour coded on this deck, so like the swords are grey. Then the majors are purple. We've got blue for cups, green Pentacles, and then the other colour is a red colour for the wands. And I really like the cardstock of this, quite matte cardstock, pretty thick. Really nice to shuffle. This is more of glossy. But yeah, I thought these looked really good together. And I basically paired them because they both had sacred in the title. And I thought the art looked quite good together. I got really good readings from this again. Again, challenging myself again with different renamed cards. So yeah, a lot of thinking about tarot this month and why people rename things and the reasoning behind it. And it just gives it more depth when you're doing a tarot reading. Rather than just having the normal title cards, it makes you think a bit more and kind of, I like thinking about tarot more in depth and everything, so I like having the challenge of renamed titles and everything. I love this Emperor card order, it's very cool. Yeah, really thought these look good. Not my typical style, this deck, but I just really like the way the titles and why they chose them. I just really resonates with me. So I just thought it'd be interesting to work with this one. Really cool. And I thought they paired really nicely. So yeah, really good readings. And that was the third week where I used the Sacred She Tarot with the Sacred Earth Oracle. And in the last week of June, I went away on holiday to Cornwall. So I took some decks that were a bit more simpler and easier to understand. I really wanted to work with the Galactic Star Tarot because it's new to me. And I recently bought the Sacred Creators Oracle, never really worked with it before, and I thought they would pair quite nicely in how they looked. So these were the two originally brought along with me, but then when I was away, I found this independent deck in St Austell Market, in Par Market I went, and they were selling this deck, and it really caught my eye, and I instantly bought one. And I did a flip through of this if you're interested in looking at this independent deck. But yeah, they surprisingly all worked quite well together, and I worked with this, like literally the second day I was there, I purchased this deck. So throughout the week, I had these three together, working them together. So let me show you what they all look like. So I've got the Galactic Star Tarot, the backs of these ones, really cool back design. I really like that. And then you've got the Sacred Creators Oracle. The backs look like this. And then Infinite Oracle does not have a guidebook. You just get the deck as is. And the backs look like this. And I think that was a really cool looking trio of backs. Thought they looked really cool together. These two definitely got that galactic space theme going on, so it was just really cool that I found this deck when I was on holiday. So let me show you the two guidebooks for the Galactic Star and Sacred Creators first. So this is what the guidebook looks like. Talks a little bit about the deck and how to use it, some spreads, and it goes into the majors. So you talk about the Emperor, retrograde meaning, star guides message, and a star mantra you can do. And it's the same throughout with the minor as well. Nice, concise meanings. Perfect for when you're going away and you don't have a lot of time to be working on tarot because you're too busy sightseeing and everything. And same with the Sacred Creators Oracle. Pretty cool guide about how to work with the deck and everything. Quick guide. Some spreads and things. And then it goes into the essential meanings, self-care message, and then another message underneath. And you get 2 pages for that. And then you get some questions as well. You can journal one if you want to. So I really liked the guidebook for this one too. A lot of cool little things to think about before I go on my day. I always used to do a tarot reading just as I was about to leave the caravan we were staying in. So I just thought about these sort of questions as I went about my day, and then journaled when I got back after our days out and everything. So that's the guidebook for that one. Let's turn these decks over so you can have a look how they paired together. This Infinite Oracle has positive, negative, and neutral cards in it. But this is how they look together, and I thought it was quite cool. And that's interesting, isn't it? King of Wands with a lion, fierce serenity. The alarm clock, wake up before you miss an opportunity. Very interesting. So I really liked pairing all these together. I thought they look great. I thought these two alone looks really good together anyway, the way it was coloured. I just like added this one into it and just gave it a bit more layer to my readings. Really cool. Really enjoyed working with all three of these. But yeah, just much more simpler in the fourth week, less thinking involved. I can just read the message on this oracle and I know like the meanings of tarot, and quite like the imagery of this. Very follows RWS quite well. Again, all these styles of cards are very different to what I normally go for. This one's more photography based, and this is like photo manipulation with a space theme going on. Don't really do space stuff that much. These cards are quite slidey because they're made of plastic. These ones are matte. Really nice cardstock on these two. This one's really good for travelling. Like I was at the beach a lot, so I could have this and not worry about it getting damaged and that sort of thing. But yeah, I really like this pairing. I was struggling to find a deck that would pair with this one, the Galactic Star, but surprisingly the Sacred Creators goes really well with it, so very happy with that pairing. I don't have a lot of spacey themed sort of deck. And what I found with some of the readings I was getting the Death card in the Galactic Star, and then I'd get the card 13, which kind of has the same meaning of death, like change, in this deck. And I got that twice in two different readings, so basically I was getting double death cards. So that was interesting. This does have like a sort of tarot system behind it as well. Like a lot of the meanings are associated back to tarot. It has 60 cards in this deck, I believe, in this one. A really cool deck. And this one has 88 cards, so a lot of cards in this Oracle deck. The Hierophant, choose who you are becoming. The winning ticket. Yeah, these, look at them two together, beautiful. I love this Magician card, so bright and colourful. Bliss is worth creating from. Yeah, so create your own bliss. Manifest it. New dawn. Really awesome pairing. So in the last week of June, I used the Galactic Star Tarot, the Sacred Creators Oracle, and the Infinite Oracle. So to recap, in the first week, I used the Rock Art Tarot with the Revolution Oracle. In the second week, I used the Tarot Galamalfi with the Rainbow Warrior Activation deck. Third week, I used Sacred She Tarot with the Sacred Earth Oracle. And in the fourth week, I used Galactic Star Tarot, Sacred Creators Oracle, and the Infinite Oracle. If I had to rate these decks, I reckon my number one would probably be these two together. I absolutely love the artwork on this. So stunning. They paired like the perfect pair for me. I thought they looked so good together. Really enjoyed the readings I got from it. So this would be my number one choice for sure. In second place, I'd probably put these two together actually, the Sacred Galamalfi and Rainbow Warrior Activation deck. Really loved the way they look together. Sure, they shuffled quite hard because their decks are huge. And this one didn't have the titles on the cards, but I could bypass that a little bit, and I really enjoyed the readings I got from these two. And for number 3 pairing, I really like these actually. This would be ranked number 3. These two together, in particular, what I picked originally, I thought they looked really good together. I really enjoyed the messages I got when I was on holiday. But having this as well as an extra Oracle deck, I thought all three looked quite nice. So my ranking number 4 would be the Sacred She Tower and the Sacred Earth Oracle. All the decks were really good this month. The standalone for me is this one. All these are really good. I had really cool readings of all of them. Very challenging month. All the titles were named in this one, and this one. So very mentally focused sort of tarot readings, not easy readings. Had to really think about it and that sort of thing. A lot of looking at the guidebooks sort of thing. But yeah, it's a really fun month working with all of these. So yeah, that's all the decks I used within June. Please give me a like, subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and please comment down below what decks you enjoyed out of the ones I've shown you. What ones would you think about purchasing yourself if you haven't got it already? And if you've got any pairing suggestions for any of these decks, I'd be interested to know, because I'm always looking for really good pairings, but I don't think I could top these two together. But if you've got other ones that you think would pair with these tarot decks, please let me know. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!